Morningside Hospital was a psychiatric hospital in Portland, Oregon, United States. For nearly 60 years the hospital sat on a 47-acre parcel at the junction of S.E. Stark Street and 96th Avenue. Formerly agricultural land, the site was developed as a psychiatric hospital complex and working farm in 1910. After World War II, many of the farmers in the surrounding area retired and their land was developed into suburban communities. The rising population increased consumer demand and the under-construction interstate freeway promised easy access. In 1970 the site was redeveloped as a shopping mall and Adventist medical center. In 1905, co-purchased a building from the Lewis and Clark Exposition and moved it from the exposition site in Northwest Portland to Mt. During its early years, the hospital went by several names including Dr. Co.'s Nervous Sanitarium, Mindy's, Mt. Department of the Interior to care for mentally ill and mentally handicapped patients from the territory of Alaska, who would constitute the bulk of the hospital's patients throughout its tenure. Between 1905 and 1968, nearly 5,000 patients were admitted to Morningside, not including the roughly 40 admitted monthly on behalf of Multnomah County, which used the hospital for emergency care. After Dr. Henry Waldo Co.'s death in 1927, Morningside was taken over by his son, Wayne Co. Although not a medical doctor, Wayne Co. acted as hospital administrator and eventually as chairman of the Henry Waldo Co. Foundation. Questions of financial impropriety raised during hearings lead to an investigation of the hospital by the U.S. The Coes were accused of using hospital funds for personal expenses, including trips to South Africa and Mexico, a beach property in Gerhardt and a ranch in Stanfield, Oregon. The Coes were also accused of outrageous abuse of privilege including the use of patient labor for home and hospital building and maintenance, under the guise of occupational therapy. The Coes denied the charges, defended the hospital practices and called the investigation rude, uncivil, and insulting. Ultimately, no criminal charges were filed and Morningside was fully reaccredited in 1957. By 1964, Morningside's reputation had recovered to the degree that it was featured in an Oregonian article about its success as an open hospital. Under the open hospital model, patients were controlled through sedatives rather than lock and key. The Alaska Mental Health Enabling Act was passed in 1956 and Alaskan patients began being moved from Morningside to new facilities in their home state. In 1960 they announced that the transfer of 210 patients from Morningside will enable the Portland Psychiatric Hospital to begin taking patients locally. The Oregonian reported hospital officials feel that Morningside's present facilities and rehabilitation programs geared to both mentally ill and mentally retarded can be adapted to private patients with a few changes. Morningside was never able to recover from the loss of Alaskan patients, however, and attempts by Henry Co. to find a buyer who would continue to use the facilities for medical purposes were unsuccessful. In the summer of 1968, the last 3 patients were discharged and Morningside closed its doors.